It won't be. What up? Let's get weird. It's your boy, Tommy G, here with the Thursday edition of the Stay Cashin show. We have no Luke Hoffman with us today. Where is Luke, Bill?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, Monday, you weren't here. Now, Hoffman's not here. I mean, me and Zab are just holding it down.
Wow. I mean, you guys
Hoffman's on his way to see Zab's town.
What's he doing?
Pittsburgh.
What is he?
He's coming to Pittsburgh.
Is he really?
Yeah, Steelers versus Cowboys. I was just
right.
talking to him about it. So,
all right. So Hoffman's not Joe. I will be producer extraordinaire tonight for the show. So you'll see me fumbling around doing all kinds of shit. We'll probably fuck this up, probably go off the air. Everything will get sideways. Got a lot going on in the world of sports right now to talk about, Bill. We had fucking Devante Adams. We had Amari Cooper. We have the Mets. We have the Yankees. We have college football. We have NFL. We got college basketball coming. Hockey's going. A lot going on, Bill Rupp.
Yeah, and Zab, it's Jets, Steelers.
oh, Jets, Steelers, my fault.
Yeah, the only reason I know that is because the Jets can absolutely destroy. The Steelers are absolutely going to destroy the Jets. I'm completely finished with the Jets. They're fucking the worst team in the fucking league. The only chance they had at winning a game was last week. Hoffman and I came on here, Zab. We did the all New York parlay, the tri-state area parlay, and they fucking let us down. The last leg, 2 missed field goals off the fucking upright. It sounded like it was a brick hitting these uprights. And Tommy's like, Bill, but the wind. Yes, the wind was of early on. The wind.
I'm not complaining about that.
I live 5 minutes away. I was out there. The wind was blowing like a mother, 30, 40 miles an hour, and it's worse at the Meadowlands because it's wide open. But in the fourth quarter, the wind was gone. You can even see I went back and watched that field goal because Tommy was yelling at me. The wind, Bill, you don't fucking understand. The wind. There was no movement on the flags on the field goal post. Go back and watch the kick. They were barely moving. The wind had nothing to do with that kick.
Bill, I don't care about 2 missed kicks.
And then Aaron Rodgers with 2 minutes left going back and throwing up a bomb to a shitty receiver who can't run a route. What are you doing? Dude. Oh, but now Devante Adams comes on. Let's talk about Devante.
All right, just go. All right, here's how professional shows work. We rant on one thing, we discuss, and then we rant on another thing. It's not Bill just gets 9 rants on Tommy's fucking team, and then I just sit and wait for you to talk about 14 topics. First, let's talk about the field goals. Yes, those field goals should have been made. They usually are made. That's why the Jets lost. They missed 2 fucking 30-something yard field goals. The wind was whipping. The ball was flying. You could see it move in the air. I think there's drones in the ball. But whatever that was, that game was not Aaron Rodgers' fault. Again, that's what we were arguing on the show. You said the Jets suck. They can't do anything. Rodgers played great. Mike Williams is a bag of AIDS, where you were just going to right now. Mike Williams blew 2 games in a row for the New York Jets. He does not know how to run a route. He cannot get on the same page with Rodgers. He's now gone. They might as well cut him. He's fucking just send him to Kansas City because he's fucking useless at this point. But what you will see when Devante Adams gets there, you will notice Aaron Rodgers lives on the back shoulder. He does not throw front shoulder passes. Tom Brady was the same way with Gronk and Edelman. He lives on the back shoulder, which is what quarterbacks should do. If I'm running a route, and you're in front of me, I got to throw back shoulder balls. He keeps throwing back shoulder passes to Garrett, who's starting to get it a little bit better now. But Mike Williams just never turns over the back shoulder. So, listen, they ran the ball well. The offense looked good. Missed a couple field goals. Rodgers looked in sync. Things looked like they were moving in the right direction.
And they still lost.
That's fine. They lost. What are you going to do? They lost the game. Whatever.
I didn't know Devante Adams was coming in to play wide receivers, Ab. I knew that. But I didn't know he was going to play quarterback.
He doesn't need to play.
Hold on. Then he was going to be the kicker. Then he was going to be the offensive line. He's going to play center, left tackle, right tackle. He's going to do it all.
The offense did.
He's going to go play defense, too.
Dude, so the team did enough to win.
Adams is a divine inspiration coming. Everyone's like, yeah, Salah's gone.
And the offense looked great.
We're going to win everything. Yeah, they fucking lost.
Okay, that's fine. It's a loss. Who gives a shit? They're still 2 games out of winning the division.
Originally
This
go to
isn't bad.
Pittsburgh and get their ass whooped.
Yes, that's fine. So Aaron Rodgers, I'm ready to kick to Zab here in a second to go over this. Aaron Rodgers, 23 for 35, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shut up! Pitts played. Shut up. Played great. Breece Hall finally had his first good game. Allen Lazard looked good. Wilson looked good. The defense held the Buffalo Bills to 3 points in the second half. Everything looked fine. You had Devante Adams.
Take the score away. He threw a 60-yard bomb at halftime.
Okay.
Take that off. They get destroyed.
Okay, I'll take that off.
He's play, Tommy.
I'll take that off. He's 22 for 34 for 250. What's the difference?
Oh, wow.
He played great. He played fine. He needs Devante Adams. So, Zab, I think the Jets
Just
plus
like
one.
He needed all the other guys.
I think he needed a lot. He needed a new coach. He needed a new line. And he needed a new receiver.
It's like Randall Cobb was going to resurrect his career.
One said that but you.
All these guys.
Not a word. Not a person said
They're
that but you.
fucking each other in the ass up in Montclair.
Oh, now you're all about the fucking gay narrative.
Yeah, well, no, you think everybody's gay, right?
I do.
Hey, when I saw Devante, the show the other day, and Aaron's like, and then he's like, hey, what's up?
Oh, and you loved it. You sent the tweet out to me.
In their ear. That's what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, you sent the tweet. You sent the tweet out to me. You loved it so much. So, Zab, what do you think? Bill thinks the Jets are dead and it's over and not going to help. I think the Jets plus 130 to make the playoffs is literally a gift and free money. I think this turns the team around. Zab, as the neutral, unbiased person, talk to us.
All right. So I agree with both of you. Devante Adams is clearly going to make this offense better. He's going to come in. He's going to make Lazard better. He's going to make Garrett Wilson better. And he's going to make Breece Hall better because, like we talk all the time, he's going to run clearing routes, which is going to open up Garrett. They're not going to be able to just keen in on Garrett Wilson like they have been or Breece Hall. Lazard is doing so well because he knows the Rodgers system. He knows what Rodgers likes.
Back shoulder
Passes. Yes. That is why he at home is hit over his number every single week. So agree with both of those. Mike Williams is dog shit. He's gone. I don't even think he practiced yesterday. They called it personal reasons.
Yeah, personal reasons. He sucks.
And then the coach came out and didn't know really anything about it, so he's probably gone.
Yeah. He'll be on the Chiefs soon.
I think they might have a little drama in the locker room. I think Garrett Wilson might have a little drama moment that he's not getting the passes.
That's probably going to happen.
Every receiver in the league is a prima donna. And they're like, and on ESPN today, well, if he's catching 6 for 60 and they're winning, he's going to be happy. No, when his targets go from 12 and 14 to 6 and 8, he's not going to be happy.
He's not going to get red zone targets.
Oh, he's not going to be happy, Dan.
All those red zone targets are going to be going to Devante Adams and Lazard, Breece Hall, and then Garrett Wilson. So,
Garrett Wilson
Garrett's not going to be happy. Probably in about 3 weeks, you're going to start to see drama come from Wilson. He's going to raise a big fuss, and then he's going to go for 120 and 2 touchdowns.
And then he'll get fed.
And he'll get fed that game.
I mean, listen, that's something every single team has to deal with. Doesn't matter. Wide receivers are divas. They're always divas. That's never going to change. Garrett Wilson tends to be a little less of a diva than other wide receivers in the league. But keep in mind, everyone we thought wasn't a diva turned into a diva this year. So we'll probably see that. We'll probably see some helmet throwing and some fucking – winning does solve everything on some level except for wide receivers, right? Wide receivers are the ones don't care if you're winning. They want the ball 24 hours a day. So I think this actually is going to help Garrett Wilson from a production or efficiency standpoint. I think it's going to hurt him from a volume standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot less bracket coverage. You're going to see a lot less safeties over the top. So I think this is going to open Garrett Wilson up to what he was doing when he first came into the league and what he was doing back at Ohio State for a lot more big plays, right? Garrett Wilson has been a lot of 7-yard slants of late and 14-yard outs, where now I think he's going to hit some of those more Odell Beckham circa 2018 type plays where he can hit a seam and take off. Yeah. So I think there is a way to neutralize that. I think Adams is going to be the security blanket, as we know. He's going to be the red zone target. Again, back shoulder pylon touchdowns nonstop. And then you're going to see Garrett Wilson with some more big plays. This is going to open up the running game. I think everything opens up in this situation. I've been saying it since last year with Zach Wilson. The Jets need another receiver. They brought in, like Bill said, Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard. That shit wasn't doing anything for Zach Wilson. He didn't even know how to play with those guys. Yeah. So you put Allen Lazard on any other team and he's cut. Right? You put him with Aaron Rodgers and he's viable number 2 or number 3. No. So listen, there's no more excuses in Jets Nation right now. That's the one thing I will say. This is it. Salah's gone. Hackett's in the corner fucking sipping out of a sippy cup, not even doing anything. You have Aaron Rodgers. The line's a little bit better. You got all the weapons. You got Devante Adams. It's time to fucking go. So
time to go against the Steelers, who's led up to second left.
Not the most optimal first game.
Second touchdowns in the NFL this year.
Yeah,
second.
Not the most optimal.
Touchdowns in 6 games. Yeah, Jets are going to be the ones to score when they barely scored this week at the Meadowlands. They had to throw up a bomb to get a touchdown. They are going to get destroyed.
All right. So me and Bill will obviously be heavily vested in that one. Is that Monday night or Sunday night? Sunday night. Okay. So Sunday night we'll be definitely going to war, probably publicly on a Twitter space on that one. Guys, if you can, as you know, we are live on YouTube and live on Twitter. To support the show, we don't ask for your money, although you can tip in the YouTube. All we ask is that you retweet and like the tweets. So if you guys are watching on Twitter and you see the video going by, please drop a retweet on it, drop a like on it, drop a comment on it. Same thing in the YouTube channel. Hit the like button. For those of you that don't know social media, likes help you circulate through the algorithm. So
Tommy,
likes are tips.
On Twitter, they can also comment.
You can comment, yes, and they do come through our thing. So if you go to the Twitter, at Tommy G Wins Again, you'll see the video right there. Just click on my purple avatar. There's a chat thing right under it. So we're looking at the chat right now. We have a StreamYard behind the scenes chat. So if you chat on Twitter or on YouTube, we get them both right here. So we're seeing them. So you can chat in the Twitter and you can chat on the YouTube.
Kendall just made a message on.
Yeah, K-Mac just did it on the Twitter. So
Rob did one. So yeah, you guys can do one on Twitter, which I did. We didn't even know.
We didn't even know. Me and Bill didn't even know. Yeah.
So that's awesome. So now you can interact on Twitter too.
Interact on Twitter and
everything. Tell me I'm the best.
Zab will be keeping his eye on the chat along with Bill. I'll probably be going back and forth. You just mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bill. We'll stop on this before we get to Amari Cooper. I personally feel 100% the right decision is to go with Russell Wilson. You feel the right decision is to stay with Justin Fields. The reason why I say, I know your answer is going to be the same as everyone else's. You're 4-2. Don't fix what ain't broken, right? It's that simple.
5 touchdowns, 1 pick, correct.
Right, okay. My answer is the reason there's only 1 pick is because he's not throwing the ball down the field. The reason there's only 1 pick is because he's not hitting the seams. The reason there's only 5 passing touchdowns, 1, because George Pickens dropped 2 of them. Won't turn around on that. But is because he's not taking any chances. He's looking off his reads way too soon. He's basically looking at throws he's afraid to make and doing the same shit he did in Chicago. Now, what you saw happens is when he runs like crazy, they actually perform okay, right? If he just ran every time, they'd probably be fine. He is not operating the offense well. Go back and rewatch that Steelers game from last week. They should have lost that game 2 different times. He threw an interception directly to the other team, which ended up being a touchdown. That got called back on a roughing the passer. He threw another interception that got called back. He was doing absolutely nothing right. He was getting bailed out by lucky fluke calls, fluke penalties, fluke things that were happening where they could have lost that game by 10 or 15. He is not the Steeler team has said numerous times they're not here to make the playoffs. They're done with these 8-8, 9-7 seasons out in the first round. They're here to make a deep run. They feel they have the team to do it. They have Watt. They have the defense to do it. They have the weak conference right now to do it. Every team is down kind of in the AFC, which we thought was going to be a monster. Bengals are down. The Bills have had struggles. They needed to go add Amari Cooper. The Jets are down. The Chiefs obviously just lost Rashee Rice. So a lot of these teams are a little more vulnerable. Nico Collins is out for 6 weeks. This is a time to strike. And I can tell you this. Fields will get you to the playoffs. You ain't winning shit with this motherfucker in a big game. So I think you go to Russ right now. If it doesn't work, you could always go back to Fields. Not going to be the end of the world, but you have to have someone, Zab, who's going to operate this offense efficiently, get Pickens the fucking ball, feed the guys that are open, and push the ball downfield.
Yeah, they haven't really beaten anybody of significance. The one team they played, the Cowboys, that had a little bit of offensive firepower, they lost to.
Right.
Fields wasn't pushing the ball down. He wasn't taking off running. He even came out in an interview today and said he hasn't played well enough to keep this.
Played horrible.
Role. So, yeah, I agree. Go to Russ, see what he has. I think he's going to give your offensive weapons a little bit more different routes they can run. I think they do need to bring in another weapon. Mike Williams is not the answer.
DeAndre
So do
Hopkins,
not go offer him a contract.
Yeah.
But they do need to go out and get themselves another wide receiver because all they have is Pickens. And if you bring in another good name, it's going to help Pickens even more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't mind the move to Russ. The Steelers beat writers and everybody have been calling it for it since week 2.
Yeah,
so
everyone is watching.
Like
Listen, Bill's the first person to say don't look at the box score, yet he's looking at the 4-2 outcome score, which is nothing more than a box score. When you look within that record, this team has no business.
They beat the
4-2.
Falcons. They beat the Chargers. Come
Dude,
on,
Bill, did they beat
week
the-
1 though?
stop it. The Falcons are a playoff team, dude. Stop it.
But week 1,
Chargers are a possible playoff team also. You don't.
Let's Zab talk, dude. Me and you talk over each other. When Zab speaks, let him talk. Bill, go Zab.
In the division.
Go Zab.
I mean, but look at week 1. They played Cousins. He couldn't even move.
Cousins threw for one.
He hasn't been able to move.
Bill, he threw for 150. He was fucking dead.
If they would replay that game, say week 7, week 8, I think the Falcons would.
Well, of course, that's every team in the league. You get who you get when you get them.
The bottom line is when you're watching a Steeler game, at no point are you going Fields is the answer ever. Yeah. You're always going, oh, wow, the defense saved him again. Oh, wow, Watt saved him again. Oh, wow, they held Atlanta in the red zone.
Didn't we just see this with the Jets? Oh, we're going to make a coaching change because we're so bad.
And it helped. Yes. Yes.
No. The only thing that matters in the NFL is a win.
Wrong.
Stop it.
Wrong.
Stop it.
Wrong.
Stop it.
Wrong.
Stop
it. Process over results. Yes. If you repeat the wrong process because you're getting the right result, you will continue to fail. The Jets' offense, for the first time all year last week, looked viable. Did the outcome work out? No. You could blame that on a kicker more than anything else, but the offense looked good. I'm confident as a Jets fan where I wasn't 2 weeks ago.
They scored 1 touchdown.
It doesn't matter. The offense looked better. They were running the ball. They were completing passes.
Score in the red zone.
That's fine.
The Falcons' offense looked better from week 1 to week 6.
Yeah, because they started using their players. That has nothing to do with. That's every team in the league. Does every team look better from week 1 to week 6?
Bill, you know more than anyone. A win is not always the same as another win. Some wins you deserved, and some wins you got lucky. The Steelers are getting lucky all fucking year. They played 2 really good teams.
If
Dallas isn't even
good. This
good.
Game to the Jets.
Dude, we're not talking about this.
Then you'd make the decision.
Listen,
you don't go 4-2 and change your starting.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because by the time you're 4-3, 4-4, you lose position.
If they make this move and they lose to the Jets at home, they're fucking.
Let me ask you this, Bill: should the Yankees have changed coaches anytime this year?
No. Who else, Tommy? Who's there to get?
Never mind.
There's no one to get, bro.
I can't. Okay. So what? That answer is crazy. You called for his head.
Good,
you called for his head the whole year. You called for his head the whole year.
Who do you want, though?
It doesn't matter. I want no one.
Stop it.
I want a dead body up there instead of Aaron Boone. When you think it's time to make a move, it's
all loved Robert Saleh.
Listen,
he's a genius. He's the best defensive mind.
All right, Bill. Listen, if you're gonna lie, don't talk. Seriously, stop.
Everybody, your whole Jets Nation loved him.
Who are you on the show with?
What are you talking about?
Who are you on the show with? Me or Jet Nation?
I'm talking about Jets.
I'm not talking about Jet Nation. I'm talking about me.
I'm talking about
me.
Fans.
I didn't want Saleh as the head coach. I wanted him as the defensive coordinator. So what we're looking at here, the one thing I do agree with the field situation, this is a terrible situation to put Russell Wilson into, Zab. I mean, you're throwing Russell Wilson into the fucking New York Jets pass defense, and after not playing for God knows how long, I would have probably put Fields out there this game, see what against the Jets, and then given Russell Wilson Giants Washington, right? Like give him a couple games.
Isn't that what I just said? And you said
no, but not because they're 4-2. Because this is a difficult. The record means nothing. I don't like putting a new player into. I would have
agreed with me, and
Bill. No, shut up.
I didn't even notice he agreed with me.
Bill, I'm not agreeing with you.
Yeah, you are.
I'm telling you, I would have put
the finish line at the same time. You didn't realize it.
Bill,
well, here's the thing.
Bill, hold on, Zeb. You're saying that Russell Wilson should not be put in right now because they're 4-2. No, wrong.
No, that's
not. Stop. Let me talk.
No, because you're wrong. That's not all I said. I said if they lose this weekend to the
No, but that's the thing. No. I disagree with that.
Said that.
No, I'm not the process. I don't think you should.
My mind.
Yes, I don't think.
That.
Oh, can I talk? I don't think you put your new quarterback into a position where it's a tough spot. Russell Wilson should have been in last week. That's when he should have been in. It has nothing to do with being 4-2. It has nothing to do with anything. If I put Justin Fields out there this week, it's to go die. It's not because I think he gives me the chance of win or because I'm 4-2. It's because I'd rather Russell Wilson start in a softer landing spot because we all know he wasn't fucking hurt. We know that was a crock of shit, just like Devante Adams wasn't fucking hurt. So if you put him in, fine. You put him in this week versus the Jets, but you cannot judge him off this game. You have to give him 2 or 3 games. You have to let him settle in. It's his first game in a long time. He may suck. I don't fucking know. I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson supporter right now.
Right, roll the dice. Why screw up a winning team? Exactly.
Because it's not sustainable.
Exactly, roll the dice.
This team is not going to keep winning.
Exactly. How do you know? How do you know?
I know because I watched Justin Fields and he's fucking up.
You just said the Jets were going to win 10 games. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. They stink.
Bill, if you want this team to win more than a playoff game, you got to make a change. All right, you're just talking through me. Zab, go.
I think one of the reasons they made the trade change this week is if Fields did go out and win this game, there'd be no chance. There'd be no chance they could make the change going forward because
exactly. Then it'd be 5-2.
And they don't want him there because they know internally he's not the guy.
I think Fields, they know when they get to play a Kansas City on Christmas night, and Kansas City's going to drop 30 points.
Who's going to beat Kansas City?
No, but who's going to give you the best chance?
I'm just using them as an example.
But who's going to give you the best chance? Who's going to give you the best chance?
Kansas City.
Listen, who's going to give you the best chance to beat them? Not Justin Fields. He's proved that. Proved that in the Dallas game. Proved that in Indy. Because I watched it every week. Every week he gets bailed out, and he lost to Dallas, and he lost to Indy. You could say that they're 1-2 in the last 3 weeks, and they beat the fucking Raiders.
Tommy, Russell Wilson, he was so bad in sprint.
Right, so you got to see what he is.
Else, he was so bad that they pretended that he was hurt.
Bill, you have to see.
And then they felt so bad for him because they brought him in and he's sitting there and he's healthy and they know that they're lying, that they gave him a game ball after a win. That's how fucking bad they felt.
That's irrelevant because the bottom line is
what do you mean? Of course it's relevant.
Listen, the bottom line, Bill, we're going to get off this topic because we're running in circles. The bottom line is you don't have a team to win a Super Bowl or anything close to it this year, but you have a defense to do it. You see what you have with Russell Wilson for a couple weeks. If it was better with Fields, you go back. If not, you don't. You still have plenty of time to do it.
I guess Tommy forgot about Russell Wilson the past 6 years.
I did. I forgot about Justin Fields the past 6 years too. Who got chased out of Chicago because he fucking tanked that whole fucking thing.
Got chased out of 3 places.
So you might as well see what he's got. At least Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl. So let's go to
15 years ago.
Right. It wasn't 15 years.
Before we move on in the chat, we got Jenna saying that she started gambling because of, I'm guessing she meant this show, and haven't told her boyfriend, but he's amazed by her knowledge. So,
all right. So I don't know if that's going to be a good or bad thing in the long run, Jenna, but we appreciate it. But congratulations, you now have a gambling addiction thanks to us. That's our job.
Happy birthday, yes.
Yeah. At least you sound smart. That's good. So let's go over real quick to Amari Cooper. Zab leads the league in drops, I think. If not, he's up there at the top. Was it because he wasn't trying? Was it because he didn't want to be there? Looked a step slow. Was one of the worst graded wide receivers by PFF, I believe.
I'm sorry, I want to fix myself. It wasn't 15 years. It was 11 years. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. What do you think here?
Fucking difference.
What do you think here, Zab?
I said, I believe a week or two ago that Amari Cooper was on his way out of Cleveland. There was rumors that he was dropping passes on purpose because he wanted Winston instead of Watson to run the quarterback.
That was my conspiracy theory week 3.
Yeah.
I think he was dropping balls. I actually said to end the show, hopefully he'll stop dropping balls on purpose.
Yeah, he had a lot of bad drops. So Bills are going to get a number 1. I think this is good for Josh Allen, but I think it's going to hurt Kincaid and Shakir a little bit more just because the targets won't be there. I think Shakir's going to be still the best bunch, but Coleman's pretty much done. I would drop him in seasonal. So,
yeah.
But I think it's
Bill.
good for Cooper and Allen. I think they needed a weapon, so it's good. It was good to go out and be aggressive and bring one in. So
Yeah, I agree with you. By the way, Bill, if you want to talk about history with Russell Wilson, last 2 years in Seattle, threw for 7,300 yards and 65 touchdowns. So if you want to talk about how recently he was good, he went to Denver and died. Denver's where quarterbacks go to die.
Seattle wanted him out of there so bad that they got rid of him.
Just telling you that he threw for
all right,
65
no.
touchdowns.
You said that,
40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
No. You don't get to say something.
Yo, you said he's washed.
No. That's not what I didn't say that at all. You said that Fields was kicked out of Chicago. I'm telling you that Russell Wilson.
No, you said Russell Wilson was kicked out of Seattle, so I said Fields was kicked out of Chicago.
Kicked out of 2 teams.
Okay, everyone's been kicked out of Denver. Denver's where quarterbacks go to die.
And now he wasn't injured.
And listen, he may suck, but you got to see. You got to see because you're not winning anything.
They already saw in preseason and in training.
Listen, you got to see.
They already saw.
Amari Cooper, Bill, what's he do with Buffalo?
Dominates.
Yeah? You think
he's not? He's got the second best quarterback in the NFL throwing to him.
All right, so you think all that was just bullshit?
We've seen what he's done with a good quarterback, correct?
I think he's going to be great.
I think he's going to be great, too. I think it's one of the best moves. I think it's way better than the Jets move.
I think it was hysterical that they did it right after the Jets move.
Yeah, awesome move. They're just like, hey, Jets, we just beat you in your house. Stop on your throat.
Oh, you want to take the sting off that? Let's bring the attention right back to Buffalo.
Good with a move. Now look what we got.
Jenna Tolles wants to know if she can get a birthday shout out. Of course you can, Jenna Tolles. Happy birthday, Jenna. What's that today? And Jenna, Bill, your dog's name's Jenna too. When's your Jenna's birthday?
August.
All right, Jenna, happy birthday. There you go. Yeah, I think Amari's gonna be great. Zab, think this is like elite level, like top 10 wide receiver level?
Yeah, I mean, definitely an opportunity. They needed that stud wide receiver that he could consistently go to, and I think that's what Cooper brings to the table. So a couple guys in the chat I told go out and trade for him. They did. It's going to pay off. So
yeah, and you know what we'll do, Jenna, for your birthday? We'll all follow you back. So give us a follow on Twitter. We'll all follow. Bill, you followed Jenna Tolles back, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Any girls on here will get a follow back. Yeah, I think this makes shit very interesting for the Buffalo Bills. I'm really curious to see. The only thing I'm curious about here is how long he's going to take to adapt, right? How long is he going to take for him to learn the offense? Wide receivers, I feel, are easy because the bottom line is you're running a certain route on each play. You can just run them in and out every other play and just tell them you're running a post, you're running a drag, you're running a flat. So not as hard as running backs who have blocking schemes and all that. You probably put Amari Cooper in mostly on the passing plays for the first week. I think wide receivers mesh in pretty fucking quickly. Route trees are the same everywhere. It's not that complicated. Bills don't run that complicated of an offense.
No, I did see a report that the Chiefs weren't even in on either one of these players that got traded.
I think the Chiefs are on a speed kick. That's why. I think the Chiefs are really
money, right?
Yeah, they've spent a lot of money on the guys that they have to keep them, but I think they're on like a Miami 2.0, like fucking 4-2, 4-3, 40 young guy kick with the offense that they're building right now. So I don't think they want to disrupt that chemistry.
I don't think they had the cap numbers to even get either.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at who they've been bringing in, they brought in Hollywood Brown, who's a fucking speed racer. They brought in Xavier Worthy through the draft, who's fucking lightning fast.
Yeah, they only have $3.6 million, so they couldn't.
They did bring in Juju though.
Yeah, they brought in Juju, right? Because you do need that one kind of presence, right? And he already knew the scheme and everything. All right, so any other news on the NFL wires? I mean, we're looking at Hopkins or any of these guys getting moved this week?
Nah, I've seen rumors of Hopkins, but
I think Cleveland should just get rid of everybody.
Just dumb. Nah. Dick Chubb coming back, so we'll talk about that a little bit on tomorrow's show. I'll probably be on a snap count, how that's going to – he wrote a really cool letter to the city of Cleveland. That was pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys caught that. But nothing else to recap here for the week that we missed, is there, Bill?
No, Lions are looking at getting another guy.
Hutchinson thing was
Hutchinson's out.
I mean, dude, J.J. Watt needs to come out of retirement. I mean, they tease it on the McAfee shows so much. It has to happen. Like, JJ, just come out of retirement. You got the perfect scenario here at Detroit. Imagine J.J. Watt week 10 comes out of retirement and goes to the Detroit Lions. I mean, that would be incredible. So hopefully that does happen. I know they joke about it all the time, but I think he can still play right now. All right, enough with the NFL. Let's move over to baseball real quick. We're going to don't go anywhere. We're going to give the NFL bets on the back end of the show, probably in about 20 minutes. So let's talk a little baseball here first. We have Major League Baseball playoffs going on right now. The New York Mets last night turned into the New York Mess. Bill, your team's dead.
Cold weather. Yep.
Team's done.
They can't hit in the cold. They're going to lose again tonight. Too many Spanish guys on the team who can't play in the cold. It's not. It's not
you
funny.
usually want to preface the racist remark.
It's not funny though. It's real.
No, I know, but you usually want to preface it, like build around it.
Ash Chisholm is from the Bahamas. He's out there looking like an Eskimo.
Well, that's the way you preface it, by saying they have too many Spanish guys because they play in the heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Come on. It's not that bad. It's fucking 55 degrees outside. They can't play. Somebody in the chat yesterday, and then I kind of like was so stupid about it because someone in the chat said, "What about Lindor and Alonso?" And I'm like, and then Polar Bear, and he was joking. I'm like, he's not called Polar Bear because of the cold, but Lindor can't hit in the cold. That's why the Mets were 0-5 to start and 12-22 to start the season. It was freezing in New York all the way for the first month and a half.
And it just got cold last week, too, for those people talking about. I see a lot of people talking about, well, they just played in Philly and all this, and they played in New York. Last week, it was fucking 68 here. We're in sweatshirts now. This happened like 4 days ago.
Yep.
Like, I woke up and was like, what the fuck is going on?
The worst part is it's going to be 78 to 80 at the over the weekend.
Yeah,
so
after they leave.
They're not going to get that. They're going to lose again today. You're right, Tommy. It's done.
And by the way, Bill, who was the inventor of Latinos in the cold?
You.
Yep. So this is something I've been saying for about 6 years. World Series teams have a lot of fucking white guys who are used to playing in the cold because the Latinos, I mean, listen, it's not being racist. It's a fact. When you grow up in fucking 90-degree heat, 110-degree heat all the time, shit gets cold as fuck. I mean, my girl lives in California, and when she comes out here and it's 65, she's in a jacket, right? When I go out to California and it's 50, I'm in the T-shirt. Right? So it's just your body adapts to those climates. And you see it. The Mets were terrible to start the season in the cold, and they look lost.
Yep.
They look. I get very scared when I look at a team, and they all have these on.
Yep.
You know, that scares. That's why when you look at Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of these like old school fucking gangsters that played on the Packers and teams like that, the Bears, they never even wear sleeves, right? Because it's the intimidation factor of we're not cold.
But it was
mental edge.
But it's different, though, and you said it before. Football is supposed to be played in the cold. Baseball
season should have been over already.
Yep.
The baseball season shouldn't even be going on right now.
It's way too long. It's way too long.
The season's too long. It should end in August.
The playoffs are too short, and the season's too long.
Yeah. I mean, there should not have a game in October.
Knock off 20 games and put the playoffs. You know, I understand, it's going to mess up all the records and all the at-bats.
The records are already fucked up with steroids. That is already done. The records are already bullshit to begin. You got fucking specialists now that are rooting all the reliever records with the saves. You got the starters only going 5 innings, which is ruining all the records. All the records are already shot at this point. Fucking, who's the home run king? Is it fucking Maris? Is it Bonds? Is it does Sosa McGuire count? Is it Judge? Is it like, you don't fucking know. The record's already shot. Take 15 games off the season. You don't even need to take 20, 30. Take 10 games off the season and have the World Series be ending last week. I mean, once you get to mid-October, it's not baseball weather, dude. We're going. I have tickets to Game 2 of the World Series for the Yankees. We're in a suite. But Ryan, I told him, I'm like, I don't fucking sit outside in that shit. I don't even want to go sit as a fan in that shit at this time. I mean, I would. I've done it a million times before. But yeah, it's just not a game that's meant to be played in fucking 40. It's going to be 46 degrees tonight.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
I mean, what the fuck? So, yeah, I don't know. I had yesterday, I thought the Mets would lose. I didn't bet it. Had some Ohtani props. Had it tied to FIU.
Ohtani's
going to talk about that fucking disaster in college
Ohtani's been bad, too, in the playoffs.
He had a bomb last night.
He can't get a hit without he just can't get a hit early on in the games. He did hit a bomb. He hasn't been great. But like the Yankees, the top guys haven't been great. And the bottom of the lineup is the bottom of the lineup in the Yankees
and the bullpen.
Bullpen has been exceptional,
which is insane because the bottom of the lineup and the bullpen were the thing that fucked them all year.
Rizzo
it was just the top 4 and the bullpen was trash.
Rizzo comes back with a broken hand. He's batting over 300.
Hold on, what did you say?
I said Rizzo.
Who?
You heard me.
My guy? Who you guys all made fun of me for when I said wait till Rizzo comes back? Gritty white guys in the playoffs, baby. Gritty white guys in the playoffs, I'm telling you.
Just don't talk about your guys.
Gritty white guys in the playoffs. But no, Bill, a funny thing here for the World Series, when you think about these teams that always end up in the hunt, right? It's like, how are these teams always in the world? I remember someone in the chat just mentioned the Giants, right? San Francisco Giants. Always fucking, like, I mean, obviously this year they fell off, but, you know, always in the hunt at the end of the day. Why? Because they play in cold weather. You look at the Boston Red Sox with their run, playing cold weather. Yankees dynasty back in the 90s, playing cold weather. And then you look at teams like the Dodgers, who always seem to have the best team and can never come over the top. They play in warm weather. You look at Houston, they play in a dome down there, right? So, and Houston gets kind of crazy. Texas Rangers, Diamondbacks play in a dome. So these fucking kind of warm weather teams need to be playing in domes. That's what ends up happening. So you see a lot of the Northeast end up winning a lot of the championships.
It's the players who aren't used to it.
That's how you build the team. And, but
they
listen,
haven't been in the playoffs in a while. They're not
spend
used to this cold. When they were in the playoffs in 2021, Tommy, you remember that one series? It was 88 degrees.
Mhm.
So that, you know, and they still lost to the Padres.
Yeah.
So it's not. This isn't baseball weather. 50 degrees.
No, it's a major advantage to it, because you got to remember, a lot of these players, once the season's over, even if you're living in these cold weather places, they get the fuck out of here.
They're gone.
All the Latino players head to Miami when the season's over. They're gone. They don't live in New York. They head to Miami. That's where they all live, right? So, yeah, that's one of the things you got to factor in.
You think Sosa and Jazz are staying in New York for the winter?
Nah, Jazz get the fuck out of here. Jazz had to go back to Miami.
Hey, Jazz, like, I can't wait to go back to Miami. He's like out there with his whole face covered up.
Yeah.
But he's been playing great D. Can't give
No, Jazz's energy alone.
Defense.
Jazz's energy alone is worth what he's brought to the Yankees.
Amazing defense.
And honestly, we started our run when he got there. So Jazz gets a pass because I love him. Zab, any takes on the playoffs before we get into some baseball bets for today?
Nope.
All right, so let's talk about the two games today. So we got the Yankees playing at 5 o'clock. I mean, what are we doing, Bill? What are we doing? Yankees playoff game at 5 p.m.? What are we doing? So I get it. The Dodgers are West. Fuck the Dodgers, dude. No one watches that shit. So Yankees Guardians today. Schmidt on the mound versus Boyd. 100,000% must-win game for the Cleveland Indians. Who wants to start it off here before I give my take?
Go ahead, Bill.
All right. Well, the Mets got screwed by not playing at 5.
Yeah, the Mets would have been better off playing at 5. It's a lot warmer now than it will be later.
And so I don't understand it anyway. It makes no sense. Why would you want the Yankees at 5 when no one's going to watch them? It doesn't make any sense to me. The Yankees win today. I think it's a sweep. I think it's a sweep. Cleveland's not. I mean, their team is good, but they're not. Like, the Yankees are way better than them. You know, Ramirez hasn't done anything. He's been non-existent. Their power hitters aren't doing anything.
I mean, he got the cheap home run to hit our hits, runs, and RBIs and our home run prop.
And when they were down like 9-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
The Yankees are just mowing this team down.
Luke Weaver, baby.
Their Yankees bullpen, the pitch starting goes 5. They're not giving up a run. Cleveland doesn't stand a chance. I think the Yankees win and the Mets lose today.
Yeah. Listen, if the Yankees are going to lose a game, I think it's probably today, right? Boyd actually looked pretty good, you know, in that outing he had, but he's not going to go deep, right? You're only going to see like 3-4 innings, you know, out of Boyd in this game, and then you get into the bullpen, which their bullpen has been decent, but I just think that Cleveland's overmatched here. I know the line is screaming bet Cleveland. The Yankees opened at -130. They're down to -110. The public's on the Yankees at 80%. It's been the same case every game this series. So I'm not worried about that. I'm betting the Yankees today, taking the -110. That's a joke, getting the Yankees at -110 in this spot. So if it goes down, it goes down, but I'm taking it 100%.
Boyd pitched great last outing. Remember, and then they pulled him. He had all those strikeouts.
Yeah, Boyd had like 5 Ks in 2 innings. So, I mean, a K prop for Boyd may be something to look at here.
Oh, what's he?
Cleveland's been pulling their pitchers way too early the whole fucking
How
playoffs.
long is he pitching tonight, though, Boyd? Like, I don't know how long.
Dude, this is an elimination game for Cleveland, right? So we've seen how Cleveland's been reacting in elimination games, Bill.
Yeah.
We've seen them pulling their starters way early. I mean, Boyd had 5 strikeouts in fucking 2 innings and got yanked.
2 innings.
And they pulled him with 33 pitches. He threw 72 pitches the fucking game before. So it's not like he was on the pitch count. It was 5 days rest. It was full rest. So does he go 2? Does he go 6? Who the fuck knows? The decisions the Indians have been making with their pitching staff have been insane the whole entire playoffs. But
I would lean 3.5 Ks for him.
I mean, I think you have to, right?
Even though I don't love it, I'm going to bet it just because the Yankees aren't great against lefties. Number one, it's a little colder out. And he came off the outing where he just was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take. That's what I'm gonna do.
Listen, Billy struck out 5 4 2/3 the outing before that too, which isn't as dominant, but it's still. I mean, you need 4 innings, 3-4 innings.
I'm taking the over 3.5, and that's what I'm doing on that.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, we're on 5 days rest, so he's on full rest. So yeah, there's no reason not. Zab, you mentioned something there. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd probably look to the Yankees. They've been good, but I do like that K prop. I might look for a couple hits, throw some hit parlay or something together. But yeah,
I think he should get some strikeouts. I don't know how many runs he's going to give up, but keep in mind that's all you need. You just need to make sure he doesn't get bombed early because then he'll stay in there. Bill, what were you going to say?
I'm also going to look at some walks. They moved Quintana's walks up, which I thought was 1.5. Now they moved it to 2.5 just because the Mets have been walking everybody. I don't know if it's the cold weather or what's going on because it just got cold, so I don't really know. But they're walking everyone. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't like the 2.5. I wish it was 1.5. If there's a 1.5 out there, bet it, but I don't think there is. So I'm going to leave that alone and just bet the Dodgers.
Yeah, I have to stay on the Yankee game here. Jose Ramirez walked last game. Put out the Jose Ramirez plus 215 on the walk. We got that. What do you think here, Zab? Any interest in any other weird props here in the Yankee game?
I haven't really dove too much into it yet. I was leaning hard into those first quarter props and that NFL game tonight. So I've been just telling you guys, D-Rock have been on fire with baseball. So.
I mean, I listen, you could play the props. You can get cute here. You can play some Soto. I've been on Stanton the whole playoffs. That's been working out well. I like the either or to hit a home run. We've hit that actually twice in a row now. So you could be doing Stanton and Soto, either one of those to hit a home run. Judge looks like he might be getting on track a little bit here, Bill, but I'm going to stick to what got me here, and I'm going Stanton, Soto. Either of those guys to hit a home run plus money. Lineups are out for this game. Glaber, Soto, Judge, Stanton in the 4-hole, Bill. Stanton in the 4-hole. Took Aaron Boone a month and a half to realize.
They said it last night on the radio, and I said it that Aaron Boone reacts to the fans.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, Wells is not
calling for Wells to be taken out of that spot for a week.
He hasn't hit in a month and a half, dude.
And Aaron Boone always reacts to what the fans say in New York 2 weeks later.
Yeah, so we got Stanton in the 4-hole here. Love Stanton RBI. Going to be playing that.
Wells isn't even in the lineup, is he?
No, it shouldn't be versus a lefty, but now they're finally bringing him out. So Trevino's in the lineup. Chisholm, Jazz batting 5th, Birdie 6th. Volpe 7th, Verdugo 8th, and Trevino 9th. So I really like the Stanton props here. And then on
I really like Birdie, though.
No, I like that. Gritty white guy in the playoffs. 100%. Love it. Stephen Kwan, Mazzardo, Jose Ramirez, Naylor, Thomas, Schneemann, Jimenez, Hedges, Arroyo for the Cleveland Indians. You just look at the lineups, and that's a complete mismatch. So we're going to be going Stanton. Stanton's going to be definitely get an RBI today, definitely do some damage. I like this spot for him. Let's go to the next game. Bill, you're just straight betting the Dodgers here?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But tell me, how did the Yanks take out Rizzo?
Lefty. I mean, I don't know. Rizzo hits lefties okay. I don't know. Listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate this lineup. I'm totally fine with it. Don't hate it at all.
He's 3 for 7. I mean,
it's small sample size. I'm not worried about that. I'd prefer to have Rizzo in there, but don't hate it at all. The lineup's fine. No problem with it. For the Dodgers Mets, we got Yamamoto and Quintana. Quintana's been great. Pitching in the cold now. Does this affect him, Bill?
I don't think it matters. I just think the Mets aren't going to hit again. 0 runs again. So I just think that they're not going to hit in the colds. Doesn't really matter what happens on the Mets end. Besides, Severino wasn't even really that bad yesterday. He always gives up runs early. He settled down, and then bullpen came in and gave up.
Really, it was 2 of his own errors that fucking got the Dodgers the lead.
No, it wasn't really that bad until it got bad later. But the Mets didn't hit, and if the Mets had gotten a few hits when they had people on with the walking and stuff, the game might have been closer when it was 2-0. But then once they got up to like 4 or 5-0,
Yeah,
it was over.
I also thought the game should have been 4 or 5-0 early too. I mean, that catch by Taylor in center field was one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Yeah, but the Dodgers have been playing great defense the whole time. You
Yeah.
can't say
No,
that.
no. The catch by the Mets. The catch by the Mets. Bill, the Mets.
I heard you.
Then why are
I
you
said
talking
the
about?
Dodgers have been playing great defense.
Not anything that I was talking about. I was talking about how the Dodgers should have been up 4 or 5 runs.
I understand that.
And I was in the middle of a sentence. You cut me off, tell me how great a defense the Dodgers are playing. I literally said the Dodgers should have been up 4 or 5 runs.
Should have been up 4 or 5-0.
And I'm talking about the Tyrone Taylor
the
catches.
Mets should have scored runs the other day because the Dodgers have been playing such great defense.
Well, that's not what we were talking about.
Well, it's the same
I was in the
thing.
middle. I was in the middle of a sentence about something else.
It's the same thing.
It wasn't. Dodgers should have beat the shit out of them. Dodgers should have beat them by like 18.
And the Mets should have scored 4 or 5 runs, but the Dodgers were making diving plays all over.
I mean, they're doing their job. They're doing their job.
Oh, so
the Mets are booting. Mets are booting ball.
So the Mets aren't doing their job by making.
No, they're not. They booted 4 balls in the first 2 innings.
You just said that they should have been up by more because the Mets made a great catch.
No.
I said the Dodgers made great catches, so the Mets should have scored more runs.
I'm saying that the Dodgers scored 8 runs, even with.
When you talk, you just don't listen.
Bill, you just listen. I can't with you. I can't with you today.
Listen.
Anyway, we're going to the Dodgers game. Well, I'm on the Dodgers. You're on the Dodgers. Zab, what do you want?
Dodgers. Yeah, I haven't betting them, so yeah.
Are we worried about Yamamoto at all?
I'm not. I think the Dodgers bats are hot right now, so I'm gonna keep riding them.
Bill, what do you think Yamamoto does today?
I mean, I already said.
No, I get it, but is it the?
Mets can't hit Tommy.
I understand that, but do you think
What does that mean then? If the Mets
I'm asking about a strikeout prop.
I already gave you my strikeout prop.
Well, you're screaming everything, so I can't hear anything you're saying. It's just words yelling at me.
Because you say something, it's so stupid, and then you don't want to hear as a rebuttal.
Go, Bill. Please.
I'm done. I have nothing else.
What did you say about Yamamoto?
That is it. I'm not betting anything else.
Zab, what was Bill's Yamamoto strikeout prop?
I didn't have
Hold on. You just told me you gave it. So let's hear if Zab heard it.
What?
Zab, I just asked Bill what he thinks about Yamamoto's strikeouts, and he said he already told me. So, Zab, what was his answer?
No. That's not what I meant. I said I already told you what I'm betting on this game.
I understand that you're betting on it.
I'm not betting any strikeout. I didn't even say
I'm
Yamamoto.
looking to
that
bet.
That never come out of my mouth today.
I am looking to bet Yamamoto strikeout. I'm asking
I
your
have no
advice.
clue.
What do you think?
I
you
have
fucking raging lunatic.
I don't. When I say I'm only betting the Dodgers, I don't know anything else. You're asking me about something I'm not betting.
All right, Zab. If I say
you know what I'll give you my best bet on the NFL game.
We're gonna do that in a minute.
There you go.
Yeah,
Bub Means is my favorite.
Yeah, who you learned about from me yesterday. You didn't even know his name.
I put it out 2 hours ago. That's my favorite bet.
Yeah, by the way, yesterday, Zab, I taught him who Bub Means was. He didn't even know, and now he rushes out and gives it the bet on the show. Of course, patented Bill Rupp. But Zab, even if you're not betting something, I could usually ask you for advice, and you can give an opinion.
Hey, Tommy, what do you think about Bo Naylor today?
I don't really love him. Not betting him, but I wouldn't.
You said something about him. I thought you had a.
Yeah, no, I'm not betting him, but I could still give an educated opinion because I'm a fucking man.
You said something about their.
No, not betting him. Still can give an opinion.
Okay, well, yeah.
I wouldn't bet anything considering he's not in the lineup. That's my opinion.
Oh, well, what about his brother?
Josh Naylor now hasn't really done much in the playoffs. Not betting it, but that's my opinion.
Gotcha.
See how I do that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all on the Dodgers. I was tempted to hit an over in this game, but with this weather, you really can't. Wind's blowing in at 10 miles per hour, looking like it's going to be in the 40s at game time. We're just going Dodgers, probably 4-2 victory in this one. Let's move over. Where you want to go next? We got college football tonight. Listen, guys, I have a couple plays that'll possibly be out. I am really torn on one of these games. This is not the greatest night for me for college football. I'm interested in Marshall, for sure. Marshall has a problem here, and it's been pissing me the fuck off. It's similar to what Florida was doing for a period of time. Marshall has 2 quarterbacks. One of them is awesome, and one of them is Stone Earl, okay? Stone Earl sucks. I hate this fucking kid. He's a disaster. He gets sacked all the time. He fucking tries to run and he really can't. He'll throw some fucking ridiculous picks. He completes balls at a 54% completion percentage. Then they have Braylon Braxton, who's fucking awesome. Yet he doesn't play. They rotate these two fucking idiots. So I got to dig into this a little bit more. I know everyone in Marshall is clamoring for Braylon. This kid's a fucking assassin on the ground. He's been great through the air. He's got fucking 7 touchdowns, no interceptions on only 41 pass attempts. So he's averaging a touchdown per 6 passing attempts. He's completing at a 62% rate, which is almost 10% higher than his counterpart, who is supposed to be the thrower. And then on the ground, the dude's got 29 carries for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to be getting involved on the prop perspective on this game only because I just fucking hate Earl. I'm going to dig into this. It's going to take another probably hour and a half of research to find out what the splits are going to be, who's going to play when. But I lean Marshall in this. I lean for sure Braxton props, but official plays will be out to the subscribers. And then in the night game, you have another situation here. You got Boston College, who's a team that coming into the season, I actually really liked. I know Howie liked them too. We smashed Boston College right out the gate. One of the things you have to factor in at this point in the college football season is a lot of the data early on is very skewed now, right? So you look at it at gate, Boston College, we hit the money line. I think it was plus 600 opening day against the number 10 ranked team in the country at Florida State. And they came out and fucking mollywopped Florida State, right? We all said Florida State sucks over here on Stay Cashin. We said Michigan and Florida State were the 2 worst teams. They're not even going to be ranked by the end of the year. And now they're on pace not to. But I think we might have overvalued that first few weeks of the season because Boston College came out, beat up on Florida State, who we now know sucks, wiped out Duquesne, who we now know sucks. We knew sucked then. But the Missouri game was the real one. They actually almost won the Missouri game. They lost by 6 at Missouri. They were ranked 6th in the country. Then they beat Michigan State. Then they had a tough game against Western Kentucky. They edged out. Then they lost last week to Virginia. This game, I don't really want to touch it. I think Virginia Tech wins. It's very difficult to win in Virginia Tech. We saw Miami, even having trouble with Virginia Tech. That was in Miami. I'm going to go Virginia Tech on the money line here. I'm going to parlay this probably with Marshall on the money line. So this is a chalk donkey play right now for college football. That'll get you minus 120, just taking the 2 favorites on the money line. I think both these teams should win. I don't trust spreads during weekdays. You got weekdays is fucking mayhem. But I think there's a bunch of props to be had in both these games. So I do my prop research at around 3:30, 4 o'clock once we get off the show. So I'll have some props for the subscribers. Might have a free bet for Twitter. But look to Marshall quarterback props. And we're probably going to look for Virginia Tech, some rushing props here against Boston College. Let's move over to the ice. Zab, do you have anything for hockey, or is there anything floating through our Discord to give out? Or you're on mute, Zab. You're on mute.
Sorry, my dogs were barking, so I muted it.
It's all right.
I was on Monahan 2 nights ago, playing at home. Pretty emotional night there after the Gaudreau stuff. I'm probably going to go back to him. I'm looking at his shots. I don't think I've lost a hockey bet by more than 1 goal. I think every single hockey bet I've put out was winning and then lost at the end or won. All of them were winning at some point in the third period. Yeah, I know you were on Blue Jackets.
I was on the Blue Jackets.
Yeah. We all had in the chat. We had Malkin to score and Crosby point. So I was rooting for your money line and my props. But,
I'm gonna just start taking +1s on all of them because they're all either winning or losing by 1.
Yeah,
and they're all like Sabres were up 3-1 in the first period and they lost 6-5. Happened with the Sharks the first day. Happened all this. So we're either winning them or we're losing them late. So make sure you guys are hedging these hockey bets because they're all getting off to an early start.
Yeah, I think Blue Jackets.
I'm not going to change my whole process and start betting first periods. I love when people do that because of a small 1-week sample size. Why don't we just bet the first period? No, just fucking bet them normal. Just hedge when they get that way. Go on, Zap.
Yeah. So I'll probably be going back to Monahan tonight. I was talking to Roe about Draisaitl. I'm going to look into his props a little bit more. But yeah, so there's a couple props out there, a couple shots I might lower, and I'm going to look into the game totals. I kind of wait till more news comes out with who's starting in goal and everything like that. So
yeah, I like the Canucks tonight. This is one of my favorite plays. So I'm going to be betting on Vancouver today, minus 110. So Vancouver Canucks is probably my favorite play. I'm not betting too many hockey games today. There was another one that I was looking at that I was interested in. I think it might have been the Canadiens. Now that line moved. So really the Canucks is the only play as of right now. We'll see how these lines move, and then we'll wait for the goalie announcements to see where that goes. I think the Islanders take care of business tonight also. But definitely going to be going with the Canucks, the Vancouver Canucks' favorite play. Bill, do you have a hockey bet tonight?
We've only bet hockey twice. Oh, I bet the prop the first game it lost, but 2-0 on the sides that I bet. If I'm betting anything, it's the Rangers tonight. They already beat the Red Wings at home 4-1 the other day that we had them in the New York parlay. So I'm gonna, if I'm betting them, I'll add them in a thing tonight minus 144. They're at Detroit. Like I said, 4-1. They beat them pretty easily. I'm going back to that. If I was betting hockey, I'm taking the Rangers tonight.
How are the Rangers totals looking under Uncle Danny's system? Have we checked back in on that?
They won 4-1. The prop was 6.5 last game. So that lost. I don't know about the other game.
All right, we'll have to check Uncle Danny's Ranger over system. Which
they only played like 2 or 3 games.
You know, Danny. If it happens once, it's
they won 4-1 against the Red Wings, 6-5 overtime against the Utah Hockey Club, and the other one was a push.
No, that's not. We call them, Bill. Utah Soakers.
Oh,
Soakers.
Rangers. It was a push the first 6-5 or 6-0. So push. So 1-1-1.
All right. So let's go to the NFL. I mean, Zab, first of all, you're going to run us through a high-level injury, shit like that. You can't have a worse fucking Thursday night football game. I mean, if you could have had a worse Thursday night football game than the Saints and the Broncos, if you wanted to make it worse, what you would do is you would take out Surtain, you'd take out Shaheed, you'd take out Olave, you'd take out Derek Carr, you'd take out, I mean, like, this is a fucking disaster today. So run us through who's in, who's out, and how it's going to affect the game.
Saints side, we got Cesar Ruiz still out. That's their center. You got Derek Carr out. You got Olave out. You got Shaheed out. Taysom Hill looks like he's out. He's doubtful, so I'm guessing he's going to be out. Pete Warner, their inside linebacker, is probably their best linebacker. He's out. And Lucas Patrick's also questionable. Brown side, they're missing a little too. Singleton's still – he's their best linebacker. Broncos. Singleton's out. He's still on IR. He's a middle linebacker. You got Baron Browning coming off IR. He's probably out still. He's one of their outside edge rushers. Turner is out, cornerback or safety. Mathis is questionable. Surtain's out. Their Reynolds, their wide receivers out. So they are just destroyed by injuries too.
It's a fucking mess. That's a mess. Surtain's out? Is he still out?
Yep, he's out.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking.
Not that it matters. I mean, who the fuck?
Yeah, Bub Means. Devon Vell. I was diving into his slot matchup tonight.
Ceddy Wilson. Yeah, you got all kinds of weird shit going here. So we have been putting together, me and Zab were up till 5 a.m. last week putting this together, our first quarter kind of prop machine. And if you follow Zab on Twitter, at Zab10, right?
910, yep.
What is it? That's Zab910. It's underneath his name there. We've been putting together the props. We actually did really well on it that first game. We just got fucked on a fucking fluky fucking situation in the Caleb game that extended the drive. But been pretty on these fucking things in the first quarter. What are you looking at for tonight? Again, this is another leg of research that I'm going to be doing when we get off the show. What are you finding right now for the first quarter props that you like for today?
I'll look at the Broncos side.
And by the way, guys, there's huge edges on these. We're not talking first quarter props like all these people who just want to post lottos on fucking Twitter to fucking get impressions. No. There's gigantic edges on these first quarter props that we're finding and total anomalies that take place because these teams do tend to script the first 15 plays. So me and Zab have been diving in trying to identify the glitches in their matrix. You know, what teams are going to specific people. Perfect example was that Bears game where I said Keenan Allen's going to get a pass in the first 2 throws, right? And the first pass of the game went to Keenan Allen. There's opportunities here to catch plus 200s on certain people, catch a drive in the first pass. Catch a pass in the first drive. If you know that they're scripting, Bill, you were probably the best at this in the NBA when you started figuring out the system of the teams and they were going for the first basket props, right? Like teams go to certain players early to get them involved. You also don't see teams outside of the Cowboys who just go to CD the whole first fucking 2 drives. You don't, and then avoid them like the rest of the game. You see teams try and spread it out, right? So you're going to see some weird guys get receptions early on in the game, and then it balances out. We're going to dive a little deeper into. We're going to do some education on it over the next week or two once we finalize it. But hit it, Zap.
Yeah, we'll start with the Broncos side of the ball. Every first series, they run out Devante Williams. I put out Devante Williams 5+ rushing yards. It seems like the first 2 snaps of the game, they lean on Devante. Typically, the second series, they'll bring in Jaleel McLaughlin, but the whole first series is typically Devante Williams. Following that, they look to involve a lot of the time their slot wide receiver, which is Devon Bell, who has a great inside matchup. We hit his prop earlier today if you're in the chat. I like his matchup. If you look at last week, Tampa Bay targeted the slot, Chris Godwin, 125 yards, but he had 20, I believe it was 15 or 22 in the first quarter. So I think Bo Nix is going to lean on Bell early in this game. Another for the outside is Bo Nix. He hasn't thrown over 27 yards in the first quarter only once this season. I think he had 70 against Tampa Bay. But other than that, he's gone 27, 26, I think -6. One time he had 14. So Bo Nix's line is 39.5. I've seen elsewhere it's 41.5. So, yeah, I like that on the Broncos side of the ball. If you want to look at the Saints side, they come out with Kamara.
Yep,
They're
Kamara's actually 5th in the NFL in first quarter yards rushing.
Yes. So I think they lean on Kamara heavily, especially with no Shaheed, no Olave. You're probably again going to see Kamara get the first 2 touches of this game. They also like to go to the tight ends. When I posted earlier, there wasn't really any tight end props, and I don't know which way they're going to flank him out with, whether it's Juwan Johnson or Foster Monroe. But
Foster Moreau first quarter receiving yards is something I'm very interested in.
Yeah.
Foster Moreau first quarter receiving yards over a half +250. So you need 1 receiving yard from Foster Moreau, who I think is going to be a little more heavily involved today. I mean, you got Juwan Johnson over a half -102. So these listen, I've been a big proponent of tight ends on prime time forever, right? This has been my number 1 play. Last year, we used to hit it all the time, backup tight ends on prime time especially. So you have opportunities here not only to take these tight ends, but to take them for the first quarter at plus money. You're getting 1 yard for Foster Moreau at +250. You're getting 1 yard from Juwan Johnson for -102. Obviously there's a lot more variance in here, but I think the variance is kind of alleviated a little bit because one of the dangers in these first quarter props is long extended drives, right? If you don't get the ball first, the other team marches downfield, nice 10-minute drive, you might get a 3 and out and never get the ball back, right? I think in this game, you got 2 inept offenses that are really going to struggle and keep kicking the ball over to each other, keep punting back and forth. You may see 2 possessions each, even if they're only 3 to 5 plays per possession, still enough opportunity to catch 1 pass from 1 yard, in these situations.
Yeah. And Kamara's, I think, prop line was 15.5, but you can alt that down to 10 yards, which that's in the parlay I gave out on my tweet. So yeah, even Devon Bell, who I spoke about a little bit ago, his line is half of a yard. So if he's going to catch a pass, it's probably going to be 3 to 5 yards right off the bat, quick inside run. So, but yeah.
Another nice thing, both quarterbacks rushing too. You need 3 yards for Rattler and 4 yards for Nix in the first quarter. So nothing big there. Go on.
No, but Bob Means, who Tommy had to talk to Bill about, his line is 3.5 yards.
Yeah.
He came out last week after the 2 injuries to Olave and Shaheed. He played 50 out of 70 snaps after the Olave injury. No other wide receiver on that team played more than 22. So he's going to be the de facto wide receiver 1. Him and Rattler both came in as rookies this year, so they had a ton of chemistry working through rookie mini camps and all the mini camps together. They were also seeing all the second team reps. So yeah, I like Bob Means. I like Bob Means. I put him out at 31.5 on FanDuel yesterday. Plus, I think it's first quarter's prop is 3.5 yards. So again. That's nothing. That's 1 catch.
The other thing is, like you're looking at, we saw 81% snap share out of Rashid Shaheed last week. So I know Olave went out early, right? Olave was like the first player to, but Shaheed played almost the whole game. So you're going to see even a bigger uptick for a lot of these guys who were going to be jumping into spots there. With Bub Means, with Shaheed out, with Shaheed playing 81%, still played 71% of the snaps. So
yeah, he's probably going to play close to 100% tonight.
Probably going to be a little popular, right? Like this will be
Yes.
the guy everyone's going to box score hunt and look at 5 for 45 on 8 targets with a tutty, I think, last week, and run right to him. I think this is a great opportunity. Listen, games like this are shit. Everyone thinks this game's going under. Whenever anyone thinks a game's going under, that's when it goes over, right? Like without fucking fail. But I don't think you need to fuck with this. You know, I don't think this is a game to get cute, right? Like you don't know who's gonna be the guy. Is it gonna be Moreau? Is it gonna be Wilson? Is it gonna be Johnson? Is it gonna be Means? Is it gonna be Tipton? Like there's anyone on the New Orleans side of the ball, they're gonna have to throw for at least 140 yards, right?
Yeah.
So those yards have to go somewhere. You get these alts on these guys, I have no problem throwing in just a little stab at a Bub Means 70 plus at plus 500. Little stab at a Cedric Wilson 70 plus 500. One of them's going to do it, right? Like one of these guys' props are all in the 20s and 30s. So if one of these guys pops for 60 yard and you put in 3 or 4 of them at plus 500, 600, it's a win right there. If 2 of them go, you're fucking to the moon. So
Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity for something like that today.
I don't know. I'm guessing the most bet prop tonight is, other than Bub Means, is going to be Kamara touchdown.
Kamara everything.
Kamara has never scored on Thursday Night Football.
Never. Is that a fact? Because it feels like he never has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no one ever scores who they're supposed to on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're going to see a lot of people putting that in their parlays and their same game parlays. And I'm not going to Kamara tonight. I'll hit his first quarter props, but
listen, this is a Thursday Night Football game I just have some fun with. Just take some fucking Spencer Rattler $400 plus 400 rushing touchdown. Juwan Johnson to get in the box plus 600. Foster Moreau plus 850 on FanDuel. Let's just sprinkle these fucking things. Just throw a little drips and drabs in there. Bill, are you going to the rushing side of this game on the quarterbacks?
No.
You're not? What are you doing on this?
I don't really have anything.
Yeah, not really fucking with it.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not an exciting game. I mean, if you see this early, we did this when Tim Boyle took over for the Jets last year, and we've done it for a lot of different games. If you look at the drive outcome, right? So for those of you that don't know that, you just go to FanDuel. It's on every site pretty much. Go to drive props. Every drive punt may be the bet on this thing. like literally. Like Saints first drive result punt's only minus 130, right? Denver first drive result punt is minus 125, right? So like these things aren't minus 250, 210. You'll see them juice up throughout the game. You can bet these live throughout the game. You'll see them juice up when teams get the ball at their own 10, their own 15. Obviously, it'll be minus 220 for the punt. If they start at midfield, it'll be plus 140 for the punt, etc. Yeah. But I mean, we did this with Army the other day because it was a game where I loved the Army play. We had that one big play. We had them in everything. But I wanted to keep taking advantage of what was going on. We had Army to score like every drive, right? And we just kept nailing it. Could have that opportunity tonight. If you see these quarterbacks are really shitting all over themselves to just keep banging punt on each side and benefit from the shit show that we're probably going to witness. So, Bill, you got nothing on it? You're not betting anything?
Nope.
All right. If I had to pick a side here, I'm going with the Saints. This is where I will be going. Don't give a shit who it is. Everyone's talking about how the Saints are missing everyone. I think Bo Nix is one of the worst quarterbacks in the fucking world. And everyone's going to be betting the Broncos. I think as of right now, you're looking at about 64% of the public's already on the Broncos. The line's obviously moved heavily in that favor. Listen, you give me a home dog on Thursday night, I'm going to take it no matter who the fuck the quarterback is. Bo Nix sucks. The Broncos suck. This isn't a big deal. Surtain's out, which hurts their whole defense. I'm going with the Saints and the points here.
Nope, I agree. I think dogs are going to be barking this weekend. I think it's a heavy dog weekend. So.
Well, I mean, the favorites slaughtered last week.
Yeah, right? That's why I'm thinking it's going to be a heavy dog weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely like duck if you're looking to favorite hunt this week. Yeah. On the Denver side of the ball, is there anything? I mean, what are we thinking with Sutton and Lattimore?
I'm on Bell. That's pretty much the only thing I'm going to be touching there.
Devon Bell.
Yeah, like I said, they've been giving up 77 yards to the slot wide receiver. I think he just has a big game. Audric Estime is pretty sneaky. Peyton came out and said that he really wants to get these rookie players involved. I think he already knows he's kind of shipping this season. He's looking ahead to next season. So
after shipping last season, looking ahead to this season.
Yeah. Devon Bell and Estime are both just interesting going forward for me.
Yeah.
So
I don't have much on this. If anything, I don't know how well Sutton's going to do here. But Bill, what was we bet Sutton longest reception last year nonstop, right?
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So listen, it's Bo Nix now. I have no interest in it. But if you want it to get cute, I'm not doing anything on the Denver side of the ball. I'm going to be taking weird fucking retards on the New Orleans side of the ball. But listen, it's not a great game. Not a great game. Anything else here, boys? Nope. All right. So we're going to be dabbling. For those of you that are subscribed, make sure to get over in the Discord. I'll be giving out all the props and plays for the college football game tonight, and we'll be consolidating our NFL plays, betting some first quarter stuff, doing a little bit of everything. Probably not going to do a show today, but will tomorrow. So tomorrow we got a big day ahead for you guys. Huge weekend of sports coming up with all the fucking MLB playoffs, everything that's going on with NFL, college football, hockey, and all that. So tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Tune in. It's the big weekend betting show. We're going to have a bunch of guests on the show. We'll be here at 2:05 Eastern, either on Twitter or on YouTube. Most of you guys seem to be watching on Twitter nowadays. So check that out. We're going to be doing the roundtable show tomorrow night, and then we'll have live sweat shows throughout the whole weekend. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Bill Rupp, final words?
Go Yanks.
Go Yanks. Zab, final words.
Big night ahead. We've been rolling, so let's keep it rolling.
Let's go. All right. For Zab, Bill Rupp, and Hoffman, who set the whole thing up, even though he's not here to join us. We do appreciate him setting up on the back end. I am Tommy G. Go follow me on Twitter at Tommy G Wins Again for free bets, alerts for shows, and sometimes money. Good luck. Stay cashin', motherfuckers.
Let's go.
That sounded a little hoarse on that one, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
A little hoarse, let's go.